Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. My name is Olakunle Kasumu, and it's always great to be on this show where we discuss all things books. Well, one of the biggest book events in Nigeria happens every year. It is the Nigeria International Book Fair. Book fairs around the world are fabulous. If you've never attended a book fair outside of Nigeria, you are missing. If you do get the opportunity to go outside the country and you find yourself at a place where the book fair is happening, I'll advise you try and pop in there. Otherwise, you might want to plan a trip to attend one of the great book fairs around the world, whether it's Frankfurt International Book Fair, whether it's London International Book Fair, wherever they are, Sharjah. There's so many of them around the world. The biggest ones are always fascinating. Well, we've got our own here in Nigeria. Not as big as Sharjah, not as big as London, not as big as Frankfurt, which is the biggest book fair in the world, but it's our own small, little international book fair, and it's been fantastic for Nigeria over the decades. It's been fantastic for this country over the decades. People within the publishing space come together. It's our own festival, and those of us in the space, we just love it. We just love the Nigeria International Book Fair. Whether you say we are big or we are small, well, it's our book fair, and we're very proud of it. Well, the Nigeria International Book Fair for this year happened recently, and as usual, as always, we were there. Enjoy it.
It's the 23rd edition for the Nigeria International Book Fair, NIBF. The theme for the hybrid event is Universal Basic Education and the Book Ecosystem, setting the agenda. The annual book fair, which is the biggest in Nigeria, commences with the International Conference, which has the presence of local and international stakeholders in the book chain. In his welcome address, the chairman of the Nigerian Book Fair Trust, Dare Oluwatui, speaks on the theme of this year's edition.
We believe that the education plays an important role in the development of minds and nations. And there is no better time to talk about this than now, that the education system in Nigeria has become a thing of concern to all stakeholders. We are aware of the frantic effort that the Lagos State government and the federal government of Nigeria are making to address the problems in our educational system.
Representing the Executive Secretary, Universal Basic Education Commission, Hamid Boboyi, the Deputy Director, Department of Academic Services, UBEC, Grace Samuel, explains the importance of investing in the nation's education system.
The quality of the educational system of a country is a major determinant of the quality of its development and the living standard of the citizens. The educational system produces the manpower required to transform the natural resources of a country into goods and services. It produces enlightened and skilled citizens who can actively get involved and participate in the development process and enables them to adjust to changing socioeconomic and political contexts. It creates a condition where citizens function as agents of stability and change of prosperity. To this extent, whatever investment a nation makes in the education sector is worthwhile.
The National Librarian, Professor Chinwe Anunobi, while wearing two caps at the event, speaks as a representative of the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, to officially declare the 2024 NIBF open.
I commend the management of the Nigerian Book Fair for their unwavering dedication over the years to enhance literacy, adding value to the Nigerian book industry and nurturing reading culture among Nigerians. The theme for this program, Universal Basic Education and the Book Ecosystem, setting the agenda, is very timely and aligns with our commitment to provide children with diverse basic knowledge and skills for entrepreneurship. That's a new dispensation. Wealth generation and educational advancement. It is my singular honor and privilege to declare the 23rd Nigerian International Book Fair open.
In his keynote address, Professor Adeoluwa Olufemi Victor, the Vice-Chancellor of Bamidele Olumiluwa University of Education, Science and Technology, while speaking on the theme of the year, makes vital recommendations.
Updated book reviews should be commissioned in all subject areas. In the basic education program, and government should ensure adequate supply of these books to basic education students. Publishers partnering with government can help to make this happen.
A Tertiary Education Summit is a pivotal event of the Nigeria International Book Fair 2024. It is the second of its kind at the NIBF.
There is a general rot in the system.
Educational stakeholders present discussed this year's theme, addressing the brain drain crisis in Nigeria.
There's no university in Europe you go to, just look at the names of the door, you must find a Nigerian scholar. And in terms of the professionals, as at the time I was doing my PhD, some of the best medical doctors in the United Kingdom were Nigerians.
The university system is deteriorating because those who benefited from that system, who have become leaders, have failed to give back to that system and sustain that system. And that is why people are running away.
If government thinks that it is the private university system that would deliver the country, I think we are making a mistake. Because the capacity to take in a large number of our people is not there with the private university system.
If we don't think about leadership in terms of appointed or elected office, but think about it in the context of people that have influence, all of us have influence. So it is and I think another lady made the point about expecting others to fix things or others to do the right thing. In our own spheres, look, nobody is going to fix Nigeria for us, and our leaders are not going to drop from the sky. As you rightly said, our leaders are a product of the environment. If we have leaders that we then don't hold accountable or feel that they cannot be held accountable, we have the problem that we have now.
E-learning platforms have become the focus of the educational sector in many parts of the world, and Nigeria might be about to start catching up. A highlight of NIBF 2024 is the introduction of the accessible study-based e-learning platform.
We know that these days, a lot of exams are going computer-based, all right? So it becomes a very important resource for students to be able to prepare themselves. Right from junior class, from JS1, students are able to begin to practice with what they're going to face. It is not when they want to write their JAMB exam that they are now they now have to do a crash course on how to attend to CBT exams. They're already interacting with this thing. They get used to it. If they have exams on their own at home, they can easily take these classes, write the test, get their scores. They take a lot of quizzes through this platform.
Going by UN SDG Go 4, quality education, at least inclusivity is a must for all books. That is to say, you must be available in all formats. And we are saying we are saying a lot about the reading culture. Not to say that people are not reading, or not to say that they are not ready to read, but the platform at which they are reading is what is changing. So in recent time, everybody believes so much in carrying their gadgets. So, and as a publisher, we just have to think of a way of changing the narrative so that all the contents be available in all formats, irrespective of your condition. That is the motive behind it.
Seeing several genre-fascinating books, children and other participants at the fair expressed their excitement.
You know, for me, whenever I'm around books, it's always exciting. So it's exciting. I love to see the little children, you know, the interest in their eyes when they're looking at the books. So I think this is really a good thing that the Nigeria International Book Fair has kept on year after year. And book lovers and the general public can look forward to coming to one central location to buy a variety of books and to just see what's going on in the book industry.
They organize the bookshelves one by one. I also saw some people in the basic science, most especially. I saw a lot of things. They were talking about the planet, how to save our planet from future disaster. I also saw some space books talking about what will happen if the sun explodes. And also it talks about matter and antimatter. And also, I usually love reading books a lot because it makes me feel a little bit happy in my mind and also makes me to research more.
It's been amazing so far in the Nigerian International Book Fair. You know, it's my first time exhibiting as an author, and it's the second day today, and it's been awesome. I've been enjoying the reception so far, the people coming around, the display, the exhibitions, and the conferences too. It's been lovely so far. I'm excited to be here, actually.
The International Book Fair has been really interesting. I came here and I spoke to publishers for some books that my children use in schools, and I really, you know, I got feedback. I gave them feedback about the textbooks that they're using and things that they could do better. And they also explained to me that new titles were coming, which made me really excited. I shared some concerns I had with some other textbooks, and they, you know, reassured me. And I'm really glad to see that the Nigerian industry, that the publishing industry, is doing well and flourishing.
Coming to 2024 Nigerian International Book Fair has been very engaging and involving. This time last year we came as visitors and exhibitors, but this year we're coming in as authors whose books have been published by Accessibles, and it's a big deal to be here.
Over the years, a number of exhibitors have been increasing, you know, from across the world, from India, from Nigeria, and the joy we have now, government officials are now attending. SUBEB came, TED Fund came, the Minister of Education was represented, National Librarian was here. We hope that one day the President himself will come and declare the book fair open.
The 2024 NIBF, which covers conference, workshops and panel discussions, has the presence of 15,000 participants from different countries across the world, including the United Kingdom, India, Turkey, UAE, and Ghana.
To every government official out there, concerned government official out there, let's do something about the Nigerian International Book Fair to make it bigger and better. It can be a point of attraction for tourism. Yeah. If you go to the Frankfurt International Book Fair, you see people from all over the world just trooping into Frankfurt and enjoying the book fair. The same thing in London, the same thing in Bologna, the same thing all over the world, Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, those big book fairs. People travel from all over the world to attend them. It's a source of revenue. Forex, it's a source of, it brands, it boosts the brand of the country. People leave all these major book fairs around the world with positive impressions about the host cities and the host countries. We can do the same in Nigeria, we can. We just need to have private sector, government, all hands on deck to make our International Book Fair bigger, better, more colorful, more attractive. But kudos to the organizers of the Nigerian International Book Fair. Despite all the challenges, they're keeping it going. Well done, well done. Well, we have the privilege of attending a lot of book events here on this show. It's one of the perks of this show. We go around, people invite us all over the place, all over the country to attend book events. And it's always fun going there and watching what people are doing to launch their books, to discuss their books, and so on. People say Nigerians don't read. I say, I go to book events every now and then. What do you mean? Well, Nigerians do write. If you think Nigerians don't read, well, that's on a light note. But we have fun attending book events all over the place. And we get to hear authors talk passionately about their works as they introduce them to us and so on. So we've got a short special for you where we just take you around a little bit. You just get to hear what authors told us about their books. But first of all, Professor Olufemi Vaughan. By now, if you've been watching this show, you know I have a very soft spot for Professor Olufemi Vaughan. He's one of my favorite Nigerian authors. He's the author of the book titled Religion and the Making of Nigeria. You should read that book if you have not. And he's written another one very recently. That's it on your screen. It's titled Letters, Kinship, and Social Mobility in Nigeria. Fantastic book, compilation of letters written over many, many years that helps to keep or preserve some parts of the history of the southwestern parts of Nigeria. Well, at his book launch, he spoke passionately about the book and the subject, the theme of the book. So let's get to watch that. And then after we're done, we'll take you around a little bit to meet some of our authors who said one or two things about their own works at different events. Enjoy them.
The book is quite unconventional, right? It's not the normal kind of book that I will write. I mean, I've written many books and edited many volumes over the years and many book chapters and refereed scholarly articles. But this one is really very personal, right? Because these are really, it's a book based on many, many letters, about 3,000 letters of my family and their associates and compatriots and friends. So it's unique in that regard. So for me, what is gratifying about writing what is otherwise a difficult book to write, there's no formula to write in a book like this. What prompted the book itself are the values and ideas that I saw consistently among the letter writers. So you can imagine if people are writing, say, about 50, 60 letters over a period of 8 years, or about 150 letters over a period of, say, about 15 years, on a range of related topics. These are people who are related to one another, who are connected to one another's friends, associates, compatriots, in-laws. There's something quite significant and unique about that experience. So you see that element of repetition in terms of ideas and values. The issues are consistent. So for me, that notion of kinship, people looking out for one another, supporting one another, literally having each other's back is something that just resonated in many of the letter writers. Imagine when people are writing, they're not aware that I will get to read those letters, say some 60, 70 years after the fact. They're not writing for me, they're writing to someone they know very well, someone they trust, and someone in which they have a lot of confidence in. They're writing something deeply personal. These are, in some instances, challenging, difficult issues, but they're also stories about human triumph. So their human agency is consistent. So when you see these kinds of values repeated again and again and again, you now say to yourself, maybe there's actually something here about a book, a different kind of book, a very unconventional book. So that's essentially what prompted me to write.
It was me delving into human beings' relationship with change and how against change we are. It made me do a lot of research into it and understanding the institutions and how our resistance to change has been weaponized against us. You know, we have a flawed education system, a flawed monetary system that is built to serve the few and not serve the masses. So I wanted to understand it a bit more and share with people so they can have better tools to make better decisions for themselves in their lives. Yeah, I think my goal with it is just for people to be more informed about the decisions that they're making. If you decide to be an entrepreneur, if you decide to go the employment route, if you decide to start a business for yourself, for you to be armed with the right information to make the right decisions. I think a lot of people today are unhappy. I think a lot of people are unhappy with their situations, but they are not armed with the right information to change their predicaments. So what I'm hoping this book will do is give people the right ammunition to make a change for themselves.
I have previously compiled testimonies of people's lives. I've actually done 3 volumes under the title, See What the Lord Has Done. So volume 1 has 12 stories, volume 2 I did the year after, 12 stories, volume 3, 12 stories. Then I said, well, Coco, you have stories as well. So that's when I decided that I need to tell my own story. So the book is actually a Thanksgiving offering to God. It's a See What the Lord Has Done.
It basically chronicles my experience in working in the public sector from 2014. My personal experiences of people that I'm privileged to work with, survivors were able to share their stories, just basically spotlighting individuals who daily go beyond the call of duty to ensure that survivors of sexual and gender-based violence are able to access support.
Creating a piece that people will be able to relate to is extremely hard, especially with being a student. Managing my time, writing my exams, studying for my exams and my mock exams. At the same time, writing and finishing the books are really hard, but like with discipline, hard work, and the grace of God, I was able to finish and publish this book.
It's not just Nigerians in diaspora. Maybe the fact that I have been able to put into a project, into a book, my observations about the Nigerian mission. It's not just about the mission, it's about London, it's about our people, the values, our pedigree, our history, our legacy. So we are building a benchmark because what you don't write down does not exist. So those actions in that book will live beyond us, will live after us. And for people in general, it's just an encouragement that we should do more, you know, and we should engage ourselves more. Because when you realize that what you do can be recorded, it will make you think twice to do the wrong thing.
Well, this is where we have to end the show today. As always, we'll be delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. My name is Olakunle Kasumu. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.